Hi everyone, this is Dr. Blevins with Anilda Clinic at anildaclinic.com. Go ahead and hit subscribe if you're at YouTube and the like button. And if you're at anildaclinic.com, make sure that you sign up for the email list so you can get these videos directly as soon as they're released. Today I'm going to be talking about calendaring and a method that I love for calendaring. And what it is it is essentially planning out when you need to get tasks done, fun activities so that you're reinforcing yourself, backward planning larger projects so that you are sure that you're getting things done, building in your shopping list so that you get all your materials, all of that good stuff. Now, the word calendaring, I am stealing from the Learn Smarter podcast. It is an amazing podcast. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. And they do talk a good bit about calendaring in there and how to teach it to children. So they have several episodes. I suggest that you watch it if you are wanting to teach your child how to calendar. Today, what I'm going to talk about actually is the bullet journal. You might have noticed I'm obsessed with journals, and I like to just get them and look at the empty white pages and see all the possibilities for my life. I do the same thing with canvases. And you might have seen the journals out there that just have the dots on there, and those are called bullet journals. So there's this newish, more popular method for having a calendar where it's not this, pre-developed format. You know how if you want to go get a new calendar for the year, you sit there and you look through all these different ones and you're like, which format is best for me? No format in the past has ever worked for me. I end up not using it. That's me. And so you feel like you've wasted it. Like you've used like 4 pages and you're like, well, this just didn't work. And now I feel like I've messed up forever. That's called perfectionism. So if you do that, let it go. Okay. But the bullet journal helps you overcome that. So what the bullet journal does is it's a build it as you go framework. So you start with a table of contents, and you can tell this is my example book, sort of. And then you have a future log. So you have different months on your future log. And then you can put whatever you want, right? So I have things on here like an accomplishments list for different months, because I'm a person who it's part of perfectionism, where as soon as I accomplish a goal I have set out for myself, I won't even take a moment, even a mental moment, to reflect and tell myself, wow, good job. Like, look at all that hard work you did. Take a breather, relax. And so I have this perpetual thing where I'm constantly working, and it's not healthy. I have really poor work-life balance, which is why you only see this square of my home ever. Yeah, I never ever move the camera ever. It's super dirty. You know that Times magazine cover with the woman sitting at her computer doing Zoom, and the entire living room's destroyed. I relate to it so much. So yeah, so I do an accomplishments list to help me reflect on the fact that my hard work can pay off. I have a books read list. I put down a list for values that I am trying to incorporate in my life more. So I have a lot of things on here that are not about work. So that's hard for me because the work stuff is so easy. Whenever I make a list for work, I can fill it up really quickly. I feel really good about it. It's not hard to think of things. But whenever I put a list outside of work, super hard. Again, this is the brilliance of the bullet journal, is that you can make it whatever you want. For myself, I have made it something that allows me to start remembering and focusing on a more balanced life. So now I'm going to take you into what it looks like on a typical day. I'm going to try to show you a day that doesn't, I didn't pre-pick a day, but this one doesn't have anything. Yes, doesn't have anything on it. Okay, So what I did was so what I do is I write down my list of things, and then I can't do it backwards, and then I have all the days of the week, and then you can put down what day of the week, mark, you put a dot, a bullet, where you plan to do that task. So you can kind of organize out across the week where you think you're going to do a task. So if you know, like, oh, I have to stop by the bank or the post office, you can kind of organize it in that way. I really like that. And then you use different symbols that mean different things. So the X on a bullet means that you've accomplished that task. If you make it through the week and there are tasks that you haven't completed, which again, for the perfectionist out there who are probably, I'm betting, the only people that watch this, or maybe somebody out there is wanting to develop some perfectionism attributes, which I think is great. We all want to change up a little bit, right? What you do is you put an arrow moving to the right to say, hey, I'm moving this task to the next week. But this is the key here, is that you're basically creating data for yourself. And so with that data, you'll start to notice the task that you allow to just carry on from week to week. And that's information. That's telling you, hey, this task is not actually important, or this is a task that you don't have to get done until 3 months from now, something like that. And you're going to let it slide until it gets down to the wire and the due date is there. And so in that case, you do a left arrow and you put it in your future log. And so you put it where it needs to go when its importance will actually matter, and you'll actually focus on it and get it done. So this way of writing your list starts to become more fruitful because you're removing items that are irrelevant. You're teaching yourself to let go of things that are, gosh, I really wish I could do that. I wish I had time. And you're taking that guilt off of yourself. And then for those things that aren't priority now, but you're going to want to get it done, you're starting to organize your time for the long term. So you're putting it months out. And what I like to do, because with my business, I have to kind of remember when certain licenses are due, or continuing education credits, things like that. I like to plan out the months ahead so that I understand exactly when I need to start working on things, because some of that stuff takes a good amount of time, hours of working on it. And that way, I also prevent that anxiety rush of procrastinating until the very last moment and not realizing something got done. So for me, this has really turned into a couple of different interventions in one to help me to live a calmer life and a more productive life, and really just getting things done. Yeah, if you go to bulletjournal.com, there is a really great video that goes through it by the creator of the bullet journal, showing you all different kinds of little symbols that you can use on yours. He doesn't do the days of the week. That's a modification that I saw probably on YouTube. He just has like one column that he does, so it's a little more simplistic in that regard. There are lots of videos on YouTube, but most of those are teenage girls who are decorating their bullet journal, so it's kind of hard to find useful things there. That's why I recommend going to bulletjournal.com. Okay, cool. Well, I hope that this is helpful for you. If you like it, it might be a way that you support your child in understanding how much time it takes for them to get work done, how to backwards plan big projects, how to anticipate when things are going to need to be done, and also how to schedule in fun events or their extracurricular activities, their sporting events post-pandemic, so that they get to have a fun life and you guys get to get along, and there's no frustration whenever homework isn't done. All right, guys, I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next time. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to get on that email list at enoldaclinic.com. Bye.